Why would you want to fight 5 Hamlinz that are Jaomock size? What's up, guys? It's Punisher
And Lanjok.
here with Complexity answering your guys' questions. All right, no socks underscore all sauce from Reddit asked, what do you enjoy most about competing? What do you enjoy least about competing? Did you have any inspirations starting out like players or streamers you watch and aspire to reach the levels of, or did you curve your own path? What do you enjoy most about competing, Lanjok?
Getting to travel.
Getting to travel? I've been a competitor all my life, so I just enjoy that competition, that feeling of just playing against the best players in the world. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just like feeling inside my body that just feels good. What do you enjoy the least about competing? I guess the pressure can be pretty heavy sometimes. In a game like Fortnite, and with all the changes, you gotta adapt fast, and it can be hard to stay composed, but that's what I enjoy. And did you have any inspiration starting out, like players or streamers you watch and aspire to reach the levels of, or did you curve your own path?
I looked up to Shroud. He was
Watch
a competitive
Shroud?
player. Thought he was really good. Like his aim was insane, and I always try to replicate that, and it's just what I do still.
Do you use all his settings?
No.
I think just like anybody, I didn't really curve my own path. I kind of was just, going to school and on Twitch. And I think my biggest inspiration was Ninja when he was still playing H1 and stuff like that, and just inspired me to try to be just as good as him, as cool as him, and all the above. So Not Zidane from Reddit asked, what mindset do you enter the qualifiers with? The knowledge that you are the best in the lobby, or do you have a different mindset?
I think we go in knowing that we're going to qualify with a high level of confidence.
I agree. I think we talk about our confidence levels. It's not even like, I think you got to tell yourself you're the best, right? To be the best. Like, in duels, we're very confident, and all our practice has shown that we are, top players. So when we come in on the weekend, it's all about just confidence and executing our strategy that we planned out for the whole week. All right, so Big Rob Mobile from Reddit asked, any tips on how to consistently take high ground late game? I guess one tip is, having utility like stinks, RPG, things like that will help. Or you could just
Being able to shoot them down.
Yeah, shoot them down.
Crank 90s all the way up.
Just crank 90s, bro. Like, just crank. FA_Breezy YT from Reddit asked, what are Punisher and Lanjok's warm-up routine? More specifically, how do they warm up for a high-level tournament like World Cup? The answer is pretty simple. We, make sure we get a good amount of sleep. I would say drink water, try not to drink too much energy drinks and stuff like that. And then what do we do after? We wake up around 12,
Yeah.
11, 12.
Watch the qualifiers that happened before.
We watch EU, compare our games, see what we can, add to our game, play some arena, creative, and then just talk, 10 minutes briefly about what we're gonna do. And we're just doing it in full confidence when the clock hits. Left hand like 20 on Reddit asked, Epic has made many questionable changes to the meta of Fortnite. How have these changes reflected your view as Epic as a whole, and are there any additions or reverts you guys would like to see competitively? Sure, there might be some things here and there, but I think we try not to dwell on these things, and we try to just focus on what's next, like what's here, how fast can we adapt. I think if you dwell on those things, then you're just like living in the past, I guess. You're not gonna do well in your tournament. So no matter what you say, I think Epic has their own
Their own
they
plan.
have their own plan, and, so adapting, it's a meme, but I think that's the best thing you can do.
Dog Muncher from Reddit asks, what games did you play before Fortnite? I played mostly PUBG and Minecraft, and then right into Fortnite.
Yeah, I played League. I play like every game: CS:GO, COD, League, Overwatch, and then into Fortnite. I tried going competitively in like some games, but like League, I was literally hard stuck plat for 2 years or something. Overwatch, reached a certain MMR, but Fortnite is the only thing that took me to the next level.
I'm saying 03 from Reddit says, a question for Punisher. You seem to be one of the top players early on. Then the skirmishes happened and you stalled out for a bit. But for the World Cup, you're back being on top. Did you change anything or improve anything specific that helped you?
So answering that question, yeah, I probably was looked at as one of the better players in the early on, a lot of players were still undercovered and not even there wasn't enough tournaments. But the skirmishes were hard for me because I was West Coast and every tournament was on East Coast. So it was definitely ping, 100 ping, and against playing against people who have 0 to 25 ping was in a high tournament where customs weren't even like good enough to like really even build, to be honest, at that point. I mean, I guess it's an excuse, but I think ping made a difference, and things have changed. I mean, I got Lanjok by my side. He's a young beast, so he's teaching me other things, especially like mechanically and things like that. Like, we put our minds together and just work together to be at the highest level in duels, and a lot of things, I guess, VOD reviewing has helped me a lot. That's what I've changed.
Eastbound from Reddit asks, a really important question. Would you rather fight 5 Hamlin-sized Jaomocks or 1 Jaomock-sized Hamlinz? It's a question for both of you, and I really need to know so I can qualify for World Cup.
If you want to qualify for World Cup, I would choose 1 Jaomock-sized Hamlinz.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even... Why would you want to fight 5 Hamlinz that are Jaomock size? I mean, he's like, what, 6'7" or something?
He's tall. Kozak 1000 from Reddit asks, what do you expect the difference between coL and World Cup to be? Do you think scrims will be good prep for World Cup, or will the games be vastly different in Europe?
Elite scrims are the best practice for World Cup.
Yeah,
Finals.
it kind of replicates it, but coLs, they're completely different. Like, people die, and nobody's gonna die in New York. Everybody's gonna be alive.
Yeah,
They're not gonna have a lot of loot, but they're still gonna be alive.
From our experience at Lands, it's everybody tries to survive to endgame, like no matter what. No matter how scuffed their loot is. You don't need to be in the elite scrims, in my opinion. You just need to know how to fight and play the game, have this knowledge of
what fights to take, what fights not to take.
That's about it. I believe this is at Mihai, sorry if I said your name wrong, on Twitter. Ask, what percentage of prize money do you take from your players? So they're asking Complexity how much prize money they're taking, and it's basically, for us, it'd be 10%. So Sedwin_ on Reddit asked, what are both of your plans after the World Cup? How long do you plan on staying in the competitive scene? My plans after World Cup, I'm hoping I win a cool $1.5 million. And no, I don't know. My plans is to keep competing at the highest level. Just keep grinding. Whatever Fortnite brings on, we're gonna be here, and we're gonna try our best. So Sammy Bam Bam 55 on Reddit asked, how do you recommend improving game sense? Scrims and VOD review.
Yeah, those two things.
Like, look at players that are better than you, bring it to your game.
Yeah, replicate it.
coL on Reddit said, do you ever get nervous? How do you keep calm under pressure? I believe I do get nervous at times, more in solos. In duos, I'm not as
more
nervous.
Experience.
Yeah, I definitely have more experience in team play, and the factor that I can talk to my teammate and he can talk to me is just way more comforting. But in solos, yeah, I get nervous, and I don't know, how do you keep calm in solos?
In solos and duels, I don't feel like I'm under that much pressure anymore.
Practice?
Yeah, just practice.
Yeah.
And it's helped a lot.
Yeah. Daddy Cuts on Reddit asks, what things do you do to minimize your RNG? Okay, well, I made a YouTube video of basically explaining playing our qualifiers. We got fourth average placement, I think, right? 4 point. It was like a 4 point something, which is, I think, the best placement for any of the qualifiers. So obviously, we don't take fights. If you look at our VODs, we literally left spawn.
Don't fight early game.
We never fought early game because of the high RNG
and what we have.
Of like the items you get, and you don't know what your opponent has, and then the third partying factor. So every time we landed, there was at least 2 teams with us.
So we just rotate out early.
Rotate out early. I would say rotate out early every circle if you can.
Yeah.
If you can, but that's how you limit RNG. Nenox52 on Reddit asked, what motivated / encouraged you to continue practicing and grinding Fortnite? If I'm gonna be honest, obviously I want to be, the best professional gamer in the world, and Fortnite is what I'm good at, and there's so much money involved. It's, after grinding as much as I did when there was no money involved, it'd be kind of dumb to stop.
No, same for me.
Right before the World Cup, like the 30 million gets announced. So for us, you just got a tunnel vision, I think, on that prize, and try your best to keep grinding.
Torres on Twitter asks, when and how did you guys meet / become a duo? It was last year.
December. December, I was looking for a duo partner.
I was looking to join an organization, and I was told to play with Punisher to be able to join, basically, because they wouldn't pick me up as a solo player.
Who?
Evil Cake.
Yeah, it's kind of a meme, but you know, when we got kind of like that whole scam organization thing, basically that's how we met, man. If that didn't happen, we probably would never met. If to be honest,
No, we never played together.
I wouldn't even have thought to hit him up. So that's how.
Sleepy on Twitter asks, how do you guys stick together endgame so well and not get split while rotating? I always see you guys by each other's sides. When we first started playing, I feel like we were never together, but recently, I just haven't been leaving Punisher's side. I just
Doesn't want to let me die because I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
No, I think we focus on that a lot.
just making sure we're next to each other.
Yeah, like I think if you look at the successful teams, a lot of them is the perfect tunnels, and always like it's harder to, you know, if someone comes in your box, if there's two guys, it's gonna be harder for him to kill both of us.
Taking shots together.
Yeah, we take shots together, and it's all about communication. I think that was a big thing that I focused on with you, right? It's just working on that communication factor of like we need to communicate perfectly and just try to be as close, especially end game.
Team Z2 from Reddit asks, if you could remove one duo from a game, who would it be? Blue T.
Blue T and Rote, yeah, his partner, they just qualified at Polar Peak.
Contesting us.
Literally the week after we did. So good for them, congrats to them. But yeah, if we could remove a duo from World Cup, it'd probably be them. Frog of Steel on Reddit asked a pretty good question. Question I like is, as a duo, how did you two develop your comms? What do you feel is the most important aspect of having good comms, and how do you decide what is needed to be called out and what shouldn't be mentioned? This has always been big with me, like, right? Ever since you met me, I'm so big on communications because, of course, like being skilled at the game is super important. But if your comms, like as a duo, is perfect, and like you're making your errors, your percentage of errors is so low. And so now we've learned to, Lanjok
Just call it
and I
everything, yeah.
learned to just call out everything, just everything we can in any fight, and even if there's
Especially
a thought,
if one of us goes down.
huh?
Especially
Yeah.
if one of us goes down.
Even whenever it just never stop communicating. That's like that's in the highest pressure tournaments. That's how we play. All right, Proface25 from Reddit asks, was there a turning point in your guys' head/performance that led to being top tier players, or was it a slow grind with placement rising over time? I believe it was just a slow grind.
Yeah.
Just
over
every
time.
day, just grinding, trying to become better, watching the best players play, you know, and learning from them and adapting into it in our play style.
And recently, we've been taking stuff a lot more seriously,
Yeah.
practicing a lot more.
I think our practice definitely changed, and even just like after practice, staying together in a call, watching some VODs, talking about what we did right and wrong. So that's what we changed like intensely in the last 10 weeks. Another question he asked is, do you think that Dubs/Stompy have been a couple of the best players in the world for a long time, and the community just hasn't gotten a chance to see until now? One thing is, we, like anybody that was under 16, didn't know they could qualify until the changes to the World Cup. Yeah. So like a lot of 14, 13-year-olds, or you know, whatever, under 16, they didn't have a spot in the spotlight, I guess, because nobody knew them.
Say.
So I think Dubs definitely, you know, Dubs, Benji, all those guys, they're beast, and Stompy, I don't even know how old he is, but they're obviously beast and probably the best in the game right now in terms of the type of qualifiers, type of tournaments they're having. All right, and that's it for our AMA. Thanks for listening, and if you guys want to check us out, you can come to twitch.tv/Punisher or
Twitch.tv/Lanjok
and learn some more from us.